Hello.
D-Money the greatest. What it do?
What?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Just trying to get at it, man. Did you take trades today?
No. I was not interested in what I saw from the morning on. The only setup that I would have caught, I would have broke even and then would have gone off like 10R. So
what pair is that?
On EU.
Yeah, I seen EU was looking nice today. UJ was looking trash today.
What happened? Oh,
I seen EU. I seen EU was booming. But yeah, can we look at gold?
Sure thing. Let me pop this off.
Can we look at gold from yesterday as well, please?
Okay, let's do it. All right. These are the drawings I had from last week. That's where I had the picture from. I was looking for this yesterday. I could not find it. Okay, cool. All right, so yesterday was the 29th. Time zone weird. Okay, Central. Okay, cool. So here's gold. And basically for you, you start here. So we'll start from right here. That's your starting time at 6. No, I'm sorry. 2 more hours into it. So here's gold. Oh, I know why. Okay. And so think on how you pull it. You would have had a supply zone here. So is that how you kind of saw everything?
Yeah, I had it from the higher low though. From that chop point.
Oh, okay.
And is that bad or what?
There's 4 different ways to pull supply demand zones. If you look in S&D resources, I have a picture that shows all 4 different ways. I try to tail it based upon what way I think that I know that you pull zones. That's why.
This is the way. Yeah, so 15-minute.
So I'm gonna look forward to the time frame when you wake up. So that would be 6 a.m. my time. Because you wake up at 4, right?
Yeah, for being on chart by like 4:20.
Okay. All right, so we're right here. So here's 4 o'clock PST time. Honestly, that's easier on me for the future. All right. So we're in Pacific time, Pacific Standard Time. All right. Did you have his own drone?
The 15-minute BOS.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then you had your 15-minute zone drawn here.
Yeah.
There's 15. Okay.
And
And
then it's a
then
15-minute time frame. Okay. What time is this? 4:15.
mhm.
Okay. So I was on the chart like around 4. Now, yeah, you can go. I was on a 3-minute, but yeah.
Okay.
Go to
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
You said 420?
Yeah, 4:20. So bam.
Okay. So you had this.
Mm-hmm. What time is that? What time we at? 4:12.
Oh yeah. So here's 421.
Okay, you can continue. You can continue. Right there. Right there. Okay. So I seen that lower low, lower high. And then you can press play one time.
1 second. Turn off the camera for now. Forget it. Turn that one off for now. Borrow this one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said with a lower high. You said
Lower high. Yeah, I'm looking at the lower high. Press play, please, one time.
Mhm.
Press it again. Press it again. And bam. So I'm looking for a sale right here.
Okay.
Looking for a sale right here. I went to the 1-minute time frame and looked for a sale
Why did you go down to the 1 minute?
because I made a rule like for if I have a 3-minute zone, then I can go into the 1 minute to take a trade. But if I have a 15-minute zone, I need to stay inside the 3 minutes to take a trade. But I believe I still took it. No, it was on a 1 minute. I took a trade. I took the trade in 1 minute.
I think that's gonna probably add more confusion for you, brother.
Confusion.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I took a sell in
Right
here.
here?
Maybe press play again.
Okay.
I probably took that sell.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Bam. So was I wrong for taking a trade at a 3-minute zone?
Yeah, there's not too much difference between your 3-minute zone and your M1 zone. You really should stay on the 3-minute. You should have taken your trade off for your 3-minute because by doing what you just did, I think that's what caused your loss, honestly.
Can we go back to the 3-minute, please?
Mhm.
So yeah, that was on a 3-minute time frame. This is not a trade for me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It didn't make sense for you to go down from 3 minute to 1 minute. Like what's the benefit that you're trying to get?
Just a better entry, I guess. I don't know.
I don't
Better
think so,
entry.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so, bro. So the 3-minute doesn't fundamentally give you, if you go to the 1 minute from a 3-minute zone, you're not getting that much more detailed information.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is it, there's not a benefit for doing this. It's only going to probably have you take more trades that you'll take losses on.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, in this case, oh, hey, Lo, somebody just joined.
Yeah,
Going.
that's me. What's you, Laura? What is your?
So like I'll have like a 5-minute POI or something or 15-minute, and don't get me wrong, like it's usually good on the 1 minute, but I feel I take more losses when I go down to the 1 minute because there's just so many more supply and demand candles that you're kind of looking at.
Mm.
So that, yeah, like I do the same thing. Like I'll have a 3-minute candle that I'm gonna play off, and then I'm going down to the 1 minute trying to get a better entry and end up getting stopped because the higher, you know what I mean? There's a higher POI or whatever.
Yeah, there's a context when you use multiple time frames, guys. And the context is you have to understand how the time frames correlate and what you're seeing inside of the candles. So there's nothing here. Let me put these side by side real quick. I think that'll be a better use. All right, here's 3 minute. Let's skip over here, and I'm gonna switch that to 1 minute. So, I mean, just looking at these candles, right? In this 3 minute candle, you get this candle, you get the wick of this candle, and then you get this blue candle. So what I'm saying is all three of these three equal this one bullish candle. Then you have this break right here, which is going to be equal to these three candles, right? So you got faked out because you thought this was an entry when generally your reversal, I guess, I don't know if you were using, what's your entry method?
My entry method is a bearish and like a bearish engulfing tweezer top, tweezer bottom. And as you can see, that's like something like it on the 1 minute, it immediately came up and then immediately got, you know, a bearish, like a tweezer top on the 1 minute time frame.
Yeah.
So I take that inside of a 3 minute zone.
Okay. So this tweezer top is nothing more than the wicks of these two candles, right? And all that caused, all this caused was this movement right here was enough to make this 3 minute candle, and then ultimately was to cause your loss. Had you not tried to go between a 3 minute and a 1 minute, your trade would have been, you wouldn't have even taken this trade, which you would have avoided a loss. That's what I mean by you're not really getting a benefit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So where you went from is from here to here to here to here, and then open and
Oh wow, I see it now.
yeah. So when y'all are using multiple time frames, that's why I say you need distance between the two time frames, because you're not really seeing very much difference when it comes to what the candles are actually doing, and that can lead to you to taking losses. Let me draw that better. I'm sorry, guys. Open, close, open, close, open, close. Okay, now it's better. This is close. This is open. That goes to this one here. This one here. It closed here, so it goes to stop here. Yeah. Okay, there's the movements mapped out. So as you see, that first green candle goes up to here. Your bearish candle in 3 minutes stops up here, so it's made this move down and up. And then this opens up and starts your next green candle, which goes over there. So you're seeing the same thing, with just a few minute details, but it's not enough for you to kind of change how you look at the market to really get an edge as far as say, okay, I'm getting X, Y, and Z.
So is this okay to take it? I understand. Okay, this trade would win, or okay, but should I even be looking at a trade? You see how from the 15 minute it came down and then it made a 3 minute zone. Is that okay to look for a trade right there?
Where it came in the 3 minute zone?
Or that, yeah, that's a 5 minute zone as well. That's a 5 minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible for you to take a trade off at 3 minute zone, definitely.
Okay, especially coming out of a 15 minute zone, right? All right, yeah, because I know I'm like, wait, no, I took a trade like this and the market was booming, and it happened, and it gave me good risk to reward. I guess this time it just didn't go. And then as the day went on, what do you know? The market was ranging like crazy. So it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, you definitely can.
Okay, all right. I'm like, all right. So can we so can you press play? Let me see where else I took a trade from.
On the 3 minute or the one?
The 3 minute.
Oh, okay.
3 minute. Okay, that's still your zone. Oh no. Yeah. So I took a trade from like maybe that red candle.
This one right here?
I think so. Somewhere over there. And then yeah, you can put a bar right there, a tool.
Okay.
What do you call it? No, to the top left, no, all the way to the top left. No,
This
back
one.
inside the zone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This one right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I took it back in the zone.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then bam, and then I did a 20 pip stop.
Okay.
And
I can't even count pips, so
yeah, just 2,000, but whatever.
okay.
And price, and then I was up 2R, and then price just shot up. So in 2 hours, my break even. And then price just shot me out. No, I've been broke even to the left. Like go up a little bit, bring the cursor up a little bit.
Like right here?
No, bring the bottom of the profit signal, bring it up a little bit. Yeah.
Like this?
So price, yeah. So price is at 2R for me, and that's when I break even, right?
Okay.
And then price just came back and took me out. I was like, damn. So that was break even right there. And then price just took me out.
Okay.
And then yeah, and it probably was just ranging that day, I guess.
Well, you kind of went against your order flow. It was already unconfirmed bearish. Comes back here into bearish, but your entry would have been somewhere down here. If you were trying to take some type of trade, you would have had, like, I think you said you take what's it called? You take
Inside bars.
engulfing.
Yeah, engulfing.
So here is, I don't know what your stop would have been, but even so, you probably would have taken a loss here anyway. So
Okay, because I do it when price comes back into my zone. I look for a trade again in the M15 zone. Yeah, so I see like an M pattern up there, and that's when I took it. I see an M, or like my entry would be an M pattern or bearish engulfing inside the M15 zone, and that's why I took that trade right there.
okay, so you don't
Probably scoot that zone over, you can see it.
Well, I'm going to show you this. It goes from this point to this point, to bounces over here, to bounces around in that same region. To me, this is all nothing but consolidation. And it's not enough for me to will be from enough for me to consider a trade.
Yeah, you're correct, but I was already in it before it did that.
Yeah, but after you take this trade, you see if it doesn't really come out and take this bottom, then at this point, after that, I would just let it go. Does that make sense?
At that point, what?
I would just let it go. I would stop looking for trades.
Yeah, I think I did one loss and one break even, and I was done.
Okay.
But I'm like, just did that to me the other day, but I'm like, damn, I'll be getting 2R. And I'm like, but it shot up so fast. Like if you go to the 3 minute, it gave me a wick and it shot up so fast. Like I don't know how would I know to like it's gonna take me out. Like whatever, just stick to the rules.
I wouldn't go from M3 to M1. It's not microscopic enough comparison to really help you to get an edge in the market.
But as far as my second trade and price, I mean, that's just the rule of the game, right? There's nothing I could do with that one, right? The second trade.
The second trade, I don't know what more you could have done. I mean,
Yeah.
outside of then, I mean, you look at this area though, all I can say is if you look at the M15 chart, this is an area where it showed some types, I mean, a lot of wicks in this area, and its price comes over here, it's also wicking in this area. So that might kind of tell you, hey, you know, it's struggling to break through, close your trade.
Yeah.
Like it's an area, obviously it's having some type of issue, because when you come
Not up
across,
crazy.
I mean, if you just take, for instance, and think about it like this, right? This area obviously showed a lot of sideways movement. So you want to see what happens when it comes into it. Notice how many times it got to be touched before it finally broke through. It took a lot of times. And where you took your trade, your first trade was right this area. That's why you got immediately taken out quickly. Then the second time it comes into this area, you start seeing sideways movement. I would go ahead and close my trade, take away my profits.
Oh, well, the second time was before that. If you go to the 3-minute chart, to
3 minutes on the left.
the left.
Yeah, but I'm still, it's still coming into this same 15-minute area where it's struggling to get through. Like, notice how the candles move in a direction. Let me delete some of this stuff so it's more clear. Notice how the candles are moving up, very straight, very straight, very straight, very straight. Then you get this. It's not really going nowhere. Like, it's a fundamental difference of what the candlesticks are telling you over here than they are over here. Over here, it's going off momentum. Over here, there's not really a lot of momentum.
Yeah, that's what took me out to the left, though. The blue one that came up to the left.
Oh, this blue one?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
one. It came up just crazy, like crazy. It just shot up like fast. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn.
but look at the area that we're in. It's the same area where you just touched the low and it failed to take out that. So that's to me a sign that, oh, I need to close my trade.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how long that wick is. Clearly somebody didn't want price to go down that low.
Facts.
So like that's what probably about pay attention to the candlesticks. And the candlesticks will show you different stuff. Does that make sense though?
That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, can we go to today's price action on gold?
Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but that's fine. Okay. So let's look at today.
Patience got me today. I almost had it.
4 o'clock a.m. We'll just start there.
Hey, Brian, how much sleep do you get before trading?
About 7 hours.
I wish I had 7 hours. I think I get like 6. I want 7.
Yeah, I go to sleep pretty early to wake up early, but I'm just kind of accustomed to it now. So it's just routine. I don't even know how to do anything different.
Yeah, I'm at 6. I'm at like 6. I'm at 6. Gotta get that up. But it's today's price section.
So there's today's. Oh, hold on a second. I gotta speed up first.
Let's go to the 4 hour.
4 hours on the right.
All right. 4 hour. So,
Wait, let's see. What is? Oh, this is still a 3 minute.
Okay, 4 hour on a 4 hour perspective. Yeah, it's still in its supply, but it doesn't want to go. It doesn't want to go down. So my directional bias was going up today, but it looked like it wanted to come down too. Like on a 1 hour, it looked crazy too. Like it wanted to come down, but the 4 hour, it was looking like it didn't want to pass. So I dropped down to the 15-minute. What is it?
Okay, 15-minute is on the on the right. I mean left. I'm sorry.
So what time is that? Okay, that's 4 a.m. Yeah, you can click enter.
Okay.
Right.
There you go.
You can click play. I didn't want to take this because that was news. Okay, you can stop. You can stop. So can you go to 3-minute time frame?
Mm-hmm. All right. So here we are at 3 minutes.
Okay, so before this chalk, I took this inside bar, like maybe right here.
Right here?
No, right here.
Okay.
I
You took a sell or a buy?
A buy.
Okay.
Because price came back into the demand zone. Can you draw the 15-minute demand?
Oh yeah. Let me put the 15-minute on the right.
Yeah. Now you can draw a 15-minute demand.
You drew this?
Yeah. Do that.
Okay.
Yes. And this was also a 3-minute demand at the time. So I was in the 15 plus 3-minute demand at the time. Man, I took that trade. Yeah, that's a 3-minute demand.
Okay.
So that's when I took that trade right there, that inside bar to the left, the blue candle, and I got taken out. So then I'm like, man, is this thing sales or what? But I see price still haven't broke that M15 zone. So I don't know, my patience got to me. So, okay, on the left, we're in a bearish trend, obviously, right?
Well, at the time that you took your trade, you had never had a chalk pullback. You were still moving upwards. Then you end up getting the chalk.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said I never had a chalk pullback?
You never, your order flow on 30-minute never changed. It was still
15.
bullish. So it was still bullish on the 3-minute, right?
Yeah.
But that wasn't a reason to take a trade because you never really had a pullback. Like your order flow on 3-minute never changed. Let me look at something real quick. Just want to look at something. Oh, got it. Missing something. Oh. All right. So yeah, okay. On 3-minute, you never had a pullback.
I never had a pullback, and why? Why do you say that?
Just never did. The order flow is still going up bullish. So
Exactly.
At what point did you ever complete the M15 pullback?
Exactly. So order flow has to change on M3.
It should, yeah. If you're going back into your demand zone,
Okay.
like that's like if you're printing, if on the 15-minute you're seeing a bearish candle, then your order flow should also be bearish if you're using the appropriate time frames. Like that's what I mean by it's a microscopic view of what you're seeing. So if you're seeing this bearish candle, it should equal a bearish order flow. Well, on 3-minute, you didn't. It doesn't even show that. So you took this trade, it consolidates, and then you end up taking a loss, right?
Yes. Okay. So, hold on. You can pause it, please. Okay. So what about you trade from the 1-minute and seconds time frame? So just say if I trade from the 1-minute time frame, the 1-minute change order flow.
Yeah, but it never went back up higher, so it never showed you it was trying to go up at that point. Where you took your trade doesn't even make sense on M1 either, because you see how it's the order flow is going bearish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bearish, and then down here, this is where it chalks.
Okay. Okay. Can we go to? Can we look at the M15? So
That's
the
on the
M15.
right.
So the M15 to the right.
Mhm.
Thinking like, well, that blue candle is like an inside bar for me.
Mhm.
That blue candle, the bottom blue candle.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah, that bottom blue candle. So I'm like, okay. But I'm thinking like, okay, but then price comes, but then the next candle price start coming down. And as you see on the 3-minute time frame, that well, you go through the 3 minutes to the left, price is like bearish, making lower lows and lower highs. So I'm thinking price is gonna like see, and that one got me. So I sold. I'm thinking like price is going to like, okay, we going bearish. Price don't want to go up. But then I obviously blew it and price ended up going.
There's no reason to sell. Just because it wicks here. Like you've never closed outside of your, you never outclosed outside of it. And then why would you go against your bias for the day?
Exactly. Use my patience. I got so much patience today, but I guess it just ran out.
Yeah, not like you're on on the 15-minute, nothing ever changed as far as your trend.
Yeah.
And on M3, at the time frames are getting you, really. I think you're misusing some time frames. Like I said, you're not really seeing a microscopic view what's going on inside your candles. And it's causing you to make some decisions that are not, I wouldn't say logically follow your process. And that's probably what's probably throwing you off. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
It makes sense. It makes sense. I'm just trying to put it together.
Yeah. You'd probably be better with M15 with using M1, bro. I mean, like for instance, you don't have a pullback until here, right? And then that's what I mean by if you're going to use direction, if your direction is going to be based on market structure, then you need to keep it on market structure. So there was no reason to sell here because you never had a chalk here. All it did was wick.
I'm sorry. Well, there's no reason to sell where.
There was no reason to sell here because you had never made a chalk on the 15-minute.
Yeah, it was that wick. It was that wick that got me.
Yeah. But a wick is a wick. Like that's, you looking here on M3, now it makes a chalk to the high side. And if you entered based upon what you said, like I think these are the type of bars that you enter in, like a engulfing, you said. Now look.
Yeah, I ended up I ended up getting some money, but not my full potential. And obviously I took an L at first.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you do your stop loss or whatever, but you would have had, I don't know if you did two or not like a nice little 5-bar trade, but the whole thing is you let yourself get psyched out in trying to guess the direction and not looking at what's right in front of you. This is what we mean by reacting. You tried to predict this is what's going to happen, but what's shown before you did not show you enough for you to be able to say, okay, we're making, that something's changed. Like you want to react to what you see. So you've had no chalk on 15-minute. Yeah, you have no chalk on the 15-minute. So why would you start selling inside of a demand zone at that? It doesn't make sense to do that as well too. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense because I'm on that 3-minute and I guess I ran out of patience. And I'm thinking like, wow, this thing might just chalk on a 15-minute. And that's what that wick did, because it was red, obviously going out, but it didn't close. It closed inside the zone instead of outside the zone.
Yep.
Can you go to M1 and go into the zone?
Sure. Let me do this on the left side.
Yeah, he said price never chalked, huh?
Let me do something real quick. So Price never made his chalk until nearly the exact same point on 3 minute. And if you were looking, here's the inside bar, here would have been your entry. You would have made a tighter entry and been able to, rock with that.
So Price chalked the same place as the M3, huh?
That's why I mean there's not much difference between the two. Like you're really not getting much. There's not a tangible benefit to switch between the two. Because they're so close in time frames and nature, like it doesn't really make a difference. Like you're seeing the same thing, you just see maybe a few more candles. And it's kind of fake, it's really faking you out more than anything. So
you scoot the M1 left over. Can you go to the left a little bit? Scoot the chart over to the left on the M1. Yeah, or low. Yeah, so Price is at that last lower low, like right here. So this is where, let me see. This is where I basically took my trade in here. And and obviously there's no change of character here on M1 or M3. But what I thought on the M3, I wanted to take an inside bar, but still there was no change of character. The order flow didn't match that bearish candle on the M15, correct? Order flow has to change.
It should. I mean, if you look at, I'm gonna leave this one, right? If we just look at just this gray bearish candle, right? Just look at the part that I'm circling. Look at the order flow on M1. You clearly can see that it's going bearish, which matches the candle that you have on the higher time frame. That's why I keep saying like you're using the wrong time frames together. Whereas if I go to the 3 minute and we go back to the exact same candle, you can't tell what the trend is. You just see a bunch of bearish candles. But it's getting you faked out as to what's really going on. But it has to be a separation. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So yeah, that makes sense. I gotta test it out.
Yep. But yeah, just spend more time. Really just practicing with the right relationships of the time frames. And I think that's going to help you to improve your results.
So the 3M, but the 15 and the 3M goes together, right? I just have to wait till it chops.
No, not really.
Not really?
No. Other people may agree, but may disagree with me on it. I don't believe it. I don't think that's a good enough parent. I think an hour to 3 minutes is great. I don't think 15 minutes to 3 minutes is great. I think they're too close together.
Yeah, hour and 3 minute goes perfect. Like super.
Like an hour works great with 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. But I wouldn't use a 3 minute as an entry time frame with a 15-minute POI.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
I wouldn't use a 3 minute entry time frame with a 15-minute POI. They're not too close, but they're not far enough away at times. And it's times like this that where you get faked out by something that's happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would stick to 1 minute, 2 max. Really, I would stay away from 2. 1 minute is really just best with M15.
But you said two is cool for M15?
Max. I wouldn't go high. I wouldn't go higher than 2 minute. I don't even really like 2 minute with M15. Let's see what 2 minute did. Curious, actually. 2 minutes, not bad. and it would have gave you the exact same result. So not bad, but I wouldn't go higher than 2 minutes.
Sometimes I don't know. I feel like the M1 be faking me out sometimes.
You just gotta keep solid on your rules, right? So what I mean by that is like you took a trade just because you saw a demand zone, right?
Yeah.
But what I was saying is
demand.
right. And what I was saying is you never had a pullback. And so what I mean by is you should have a rule, for instance, of how it comes into the demand zone or supply zone. What are you seeing? Like for me, that I have a rule that I have to have a pullback. And a pullback, I have a certain criteria, right? Like I don't, for instance, I wouldn't take this candle if it just wicks into it because I need it to close on the 15-minute with some type of candle that goes into the POI. Then I know I have a for sure pullback. That helps me to not get faked out. I remember one time you asked me, I think it was like a week or two ago, where you had made a demand zone, price wicked it, and then you took a trade, but then it took you out, and then it kept going upward. And I was saying it's not a pullback. I noticed those situations like that over and over and over again. So what I ended up doing was, just making that rule. And I think if you get more solid on the rules on what things are and what things aren't, you won't get faked out on that one. Because the time frames really don't do nothing other than show you more candles if you go lower, show you less candles if you go higher. Like the same concept should apply on every single time frame. So,
and to be honest, 5:30 was news. So
it was.
Yeah, that candle, would you consider that N15 candle a news candle or actually a 1 minute candle? That was way up there.
No, I would look at the whole 15-minute candle.
What did you say?
I would look at the whole 15-minute candle.
Okay, well, that whole 15-minute candle anyway was news.
That's likely why the reason then maybe you took a loss in the area. Wait, which candle? This candle was news?
That red one.
Yeah. I would have waited.
That coming down, it was that whole red candle coming down was news. GDP, unemployment. I feel like I would have hit today, but I got a little bit of money. I ended up coming out just almost above break even, but I would have made some money if I was just a little bit more patient.
Patience is the name of the game.
A little more patient.
But you got it. You got it, though. Just like I said, just rethink on how you have those rules in certain situations, and then it'll help you avoid some of the losses because all your losses tend to look the same, guys. It's really just down to recognition of, all right, this is something that happens repeatedly over and over. And if I make this rule, I can maybe cut out half of those or a third of those or a fourth of those. And then you just keep adding rule after rule until you cut out the losses, and your rules also support you over time getting wins, not just off of 1 or 2 trades, but over the long haul. That's all it comes down to, because the market will show you the similar patterns over and over and over again. You just have to capitalize on them. Like, you don't have to chase the money. The money's going to be there. All you have to do is chase discipline of following the same rules over and over, and don't do stuff just because you feel a certain way.
So, well, like a general rule, you would say price has to do like a major, okay. So like what is this to the left? It's 2 minute or 1 minute. Can you go to 1 minute, like 2 minutes to the left or 1 minute?
1 minute. Here we go. All right, so we got 1 minute to the left.
Go to the left. So price will have to take out, this could be a rule, like price will have to take out the major, like price will have to take this out for me to even look at a buy, right? If I took my buy down, price will have to take that out and come back down for me to take a buy. So even think about taking a buy.
I mean, yeah, that's a rule that you could create. Yeah.
And that's a good rule, right? Because obviously, because price chalk, isn't this like an internal chalk right here?
I don't look at internals.
Exactly.
Internals do nothing more than confuse people to me. You get a wrong sense of direction. Because even if you consider that internal chalk and took a buy, you still would have taken a loss. So what was the point?
Exactly.
Like I do not care about what happens internally to anything. It's never shown me a consistent track record of success. Nor have I seen it from other people myself. So sometimes we ask myself, all right, am I doing the rules right? And from what I've seen with people, no, internals seems to confuse people more than anything. So
But
I cannot say your name. Is it Etel?
Yeah, ETL.
Etiel. Okay. I apologize. Give me a couple of calls. I will get it. I have to practice it a couple of times. I'm bad for butchering names, so I don't want to butcher anybody's name.
No worries, man. Yeah, ETL.
Etiel. What did you happen to have any questions too that I get a chance to answer? I'm so sorry.
I guess if you could look at my EU trade and let me know if this would be valid.
Oh, sure. Let's take a look.
I don't know if you or yeah, I guess just do it on yours.
Oh, you can share your screen if you want to.
Okay, yeah, I could. Also, okay, yeah, I got that here, one sec. This is the pivot market structure thing you have up, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. I was trying to figure it out since it's a different name, but
Oh no, I apologize. No, I do pivot based market structure.
so, is that a invite only indicator?
Yes, it is.
Can you see on my screen? I only have these four. Is it any of these?
No, it's a different one. What's your
okay.
trading view name? Okay.
Crypto underscore Mechart.
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've just been using, I think the session timings is, I think, the same as this Phantom one I've been using when I joined Phantom a while back.
Oh, cool.
Which I just use it to mark off Asia. Is that the same thing, the session timings?
No, it covers actually all sessions and kill zone times.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched the thing yet, so okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because people always ask questions about what session is what, and then when it's kill zone times, and so with that you'll have access. It'll show you all of it.
So, right here, this is where I was basing my trade yesterday because we were bullish kind of on 15-minute, right? And then obviously we had that pivot on the right here, the 4 hour. So that's why you were kind of saying that's where I got confused, where I was looking for buys here instead of shorts because the trend changed. But over here, what I was looking at, so we had this Asia got taken, like I guess break of structure. We had a chotch back, so that's kind of where we would go back unconfirmed bearish until that broke, correct?
Zoom in a little bit. Your candles are a little bit small, so I'm trying to follow. Okay, so okay,
right here we would break. It would be I would have. So I was looking for, that's why I was looking for buys off here. And then when I look, we have a chotch on the smaller time frame again. Break of structure, break of structure. Well, so I had this marked off as a supply, which would be on a 1 minute. And down here, it would have been a demand since it broke this, which it did react off it. But then once I kind of looked at my chart and analyzed, like I didn't see this till after. All that, right? So I was kind of not accounting any of that in. I was just looking at this as a buy.
I get you.
And then, yeah, the short here on the 1 minute, I guess, like after that would have been just before Asia.
So,
now Yeah, so like, would you have entered any of this, like, would any of this be valid to you, or would you have just sat out? Like either for a buy here or a sell here to follow back down.
So I'm trying to follow all of your changes since.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So the short to me at the time, if like, so I guess it would be kind of counter trend on a higher time frame going for this buy. Correct? Like it, because we broke on the 4 hour, this would have been a supply zone. So here, hold on. So the only reason I wasn't looking for shorts here as well is because we didn't fully mitigate off this. But I wasn't even considering that really a supply because I wasn't considering this a break of structure at the time.
Well, here's the
Right?
thing. If you do pip pullbacks, right, you have to determine whatever the pip pullback value is. So at that time, you didn't consider that to be structure. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, if you use pivots, like we talk about in the course, I have a video on it where it talks about the 5 candle pivot. What I use is basically using 5 candles with a middle candle that would be German structure. It can cause you a slight difference in how you see the market, or it could also be the same at times with pit pullback. Now, the reason why I don't use pit pullbacks is because I find that to be a little too subjective, because the values and the distance of price changes every year. So I could pull up a chart which talks about what's called average daily range, and what it shows is how many pips on a daily chart that pairs move. Well, EU in 2022 moved on average 78 pips a day, but in 2021 it moved 55 pips. So let's say, for instance, you base your structure points based upon a 40 pip pullback.
Yeah.
Well, it may be wrong one year, and one year it may be right. So for me, that was a little bit too subjective, if that makes sense. That's why that's why we also offer the
Okay. So that's the fact too, is I did this and I'm like, okay, it's like 30 pips. So I'm like, I didn't really consider it, right? Now we had this break of structure. Would you be looking for shorts up here now, where on the lower time frame, so this morning, like so here, let me delete this 1 sec. So this would have all played out. Like I don't trade London, so all of this would have just happened anyways. Now we're up here. So okay, actually let me go back to down here. So this buy, would this be valid to you because of this break of structure and then it came down, or would you just not validate that because we have a charge break of structure back down on the smaller time frame?
So this to me would be a higher high. This would be a low. This would be a higher low. Oh, don't slide your chart real quick.
Yeah, sorry.
I just want to mark some spots real quick. This would be a higher high. This would be a lower low. Then there would be a lower high here. Then this would be a lower low. Then this would be a lower high here. Then this would be a lower low. I would have taken a sell into something here, probably would have broken even. You still would have been here. You could have taken this sell. I'd have taken to this point right here. And I wouldn't have taken that buy. I would have waited until it breaks here. Then we get a higher high here. If you had drawn your zone based upon this, you could have taken this as a buy. You could have held it through and held it all to this, or you could have found a new zone here and taken it. Sorry, I got so much stuff on your chart.
No, yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I'm following along.
This, I would have taken a demand buy here, and that could have also been like, that would have been your higher low. So I would have considered this to be an opportunity. There'd be an opportunity here, and maybe something in these two right here.
Okay. So I was looking at this as an opportunity, yeah, because we broke here and it ended up just continuing up, right? So we broke that and we broke this. And then it came, or Yeah. So down here or down here, yeah. Okay. Now, I don't trade London, so this morning we would be up here, okay?
Mhm.
Now, here, I'm gonna delete your,
Oh, let me delete my
just
drawings.
first,
I'm
okay,
so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I understood all that. Okay, that makes sense to me. Now, up here, this is where I was kind of, we broke obviously way above this
Uh-huh.
4 hour. Well, not way above, but we wicked.
Uh-huh.
So I'm still not like this would be still a sell area for me. Now
Okay.
on the 1 minute, well, this is where I would go down to the 1 minute, but we have to the upside 930, it comes up, clears that liquidity. We kind of range here,
Uh-huh.
and then it breaks this. And I was considering this a demand, so but it broke this little structure here and then that demand. And this would have been based off, I guess, a 3 minute. I'm pretty sure I was looking at, yeah, the 3 minute candle I was looking at here for a short, just to this I was looking at. Would that be valid to you, this short now, due to these breaks here?
The way I see it would be, this would be your higher low. This would be your higher high. This would be your higher high. Sorry, I can't draw and type. This would be an internal break, right? But I don't trade those.
Okay.
I would have waited until something would have tapped in. See, there was an entry, I think, right here where it tapped in. I likely would have just broken even on this.
Okay. Now, at the moment, because we broke this here, I don't trade right now, but I have this just kind of marked off as a supply that it could continue down from here. I'm not in, like, I don't trade this time, so it's just a markup I have to see if it does follow through.
Where you took this trade at, if I was trading on a lower time frame than 3 minutes, I could see there's a potential trade opportunity, but not based upon what I see on 3 minute, would I have taken that?
Yeah, let's see on the 1 minute. Yeah, okay.
Is there a trade opportunity you see on the 1 minute right there, though, Brian?
No, I think I see it on the seconds.
Yeah, so I don't have, I did have premium. I don't have it at the moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think there was a seconds opportunity there.
Okay. The 3 minute I was looking at just based off this engulfing. That's why I like that zone. And then it broke that little internal.
But what 15-minute zone did you tap into? So what do you consider your middle time frame?
So what I would base that off is that we didn't, like, that 4 hour just kind of closed there in the wick.
I would recommend you add in. Okay, if you were to do this, I'd recommend that you have a middle time frame if you want to use multiple time frames, because the 4 hour to a 3 minute is a little bit too far away. So I would recommend that if you were to do it like this, you would base your entries on the 5 minute if you were comparing it to a 4 hour POI.
Okay.
That would be with a 2 time frame system, preferably with a 2 time frame system. If you don't want to use two time frames, I would recommend that you add a middle time frame and let your point of interest be a 15 minute. Because the only 3 things that doesn't matter what strategy in the world you trade with, doesn't matter if you trade liquidity, supply and demand, SMC, price action, Fibonacci, you name it. There's only three things that a strategy needs.
Mhm.
It needs direction. And please forgive me trying to use a trackpad to write.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
It needs a POI, point of
Mhm.
interest, and it just needs an entry trigger. That's it. Doesn't matter
Okay.
what you do. So you may use, for instance, market structure for your sense of direction. You may use support and resistance or supply and demand for your point of interest. You may use for your entry like a fib. But each has a purpose, right?
Yeah.
So your supply and demand can't go against whatever your market structure says is the direction.
Mhm.
And your fib can't be used outside of a context of being related or somewhere in within your supply or demand. If you want to use time frames, then you would make this to be what we call your higher time frame. And from here, you could have a middle time frame and an entry time frame, or you just combine your entry time frame to have both of these elements. That's the only three things you need. Any strategy in the world has that. Doesn't matter what system that you trade. I can show you how it has all three elements because that's the only way you make money in trading.
Yeah.
So you just have to decide what that relationship will be. If you're going to use the 4 hour for direction, you said, all right, market structure was, I think you said bearish. And then you said, okay, that's my sense of direction. Cool. You still, at this point, we didn't create a point of interest that I saw, which could have helped you maybe to maximize more gains. You may not get in early, but it's like, okay, cool. But whatever you want to make your point of interest, you just need to have one, right? So here's
Yeah.
your point of interest. I think that you were probably using was the fact that this is not really it's a supply zone.
So that,
But
and then that's kind of also, yeah, like the 15-minute extreme. And then we had that 1 minute internal chotch, I guess you would call it,
Mhm.
and my entry right after
So
the minute.
what is your 15-minute direction? I mean, market structure on here.
Well,
Because
15-minute would have been bullish here until here, which, well, I guess we didn't have a 15-minute bearish over here. It
you
was
never
only
did.
based,
Mhm.
it was only based off that extreme and then the 1 minute internal that I would have sold there.
Well, the extreme's not valid because you've gone against your market structure. Because remember, I said market structure is your principle for direction.
Mhm.
So now you've gone against market structure and you're pulling supply and demand zones without context of market structure, which means you're going to take a loss.
Yeah, like, well, the trade would have worked out, but yeah, like I know what you mean. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. It's not a high probability.
Right. It worked this time, but out of 100 times,
Will
is
it
it
work?
likely to work over 51 times? Right. Because
Oh,
my view on the edge, and like traders always say, get an edge, get an edge, get an edge. What is an edge? An edge is an event that you could repeat more times than not, right? Like if you put gas in a car, it's likely to drive and go somewhere. You don't have
mhm.
gas in the car, it's very unlikely you're going to get up and drive anywhere. So it's just, you have to keep in mind, like what is an event that's repeatable? So like that's why I don't look at any one event by itself. I say, all right, cool, I made a win on maybe these two trades, cool. But out of a sample size of 100, how many times did I lose? And then
Yeah.
that's how you base your rules and say, oh, okay, you know what? It doesn't work as much as I thought it did. Like, yeah, I got lucky on these 2 or 3 times, but out of like the last 20 times, like I lost 17. So
Yeah.
then you start saying, and your edge should be something that has a greater than 51% success rate to me. So, because if not, you have a better chance of just guessing than you do actually, following the rule that you set.
Yeah. Wait, sorry. It should be around 50%, you're saying?
It should be greater than 50% to me.
Oh, greater. Okay.
Yeah. Because, if it happens less than 50%, you could guess and have a 50% chance of getting it right.
Yeah, that's true. Hmm.
Whereas if you had the ability to be a 51%, you have a slightly better edge than a slightly better edge than guessing. And if you could get to like 70%, then you have no reason to be guessing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. So I think my problem is I go against my my direction. So like I guess I'm just trying to go counter trend a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, like I do see my losses mostly come from counter trend trades, to be honest.
Yep. Always
Yeah.
keep in mind, like I said, whatever your principle is for your direction, don't stray away from it. Whatever your principle is for your POI, don't stray away from it. Whatever your principle is for your entry, don't stray away from it. But always remember, it's important that you have all three of these elements. And whatever you pick for your direction, don't try to add multiple things to give you different sense of direction. So that will help you to cut down on counter trend trades.
Yeah. Like, for example, in this area here, like I was looking for buys, I'm looking for sells. You know, like I confuse myself kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and whatever you concept that you use, right, like your sense of direction, that's going to apply in all time frames. So don't
Yeah.
just use it in one place and not and use it in the other.
Okay, that makes sense, man. Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Great conversations, great questions, y'all. If I didn't get a chance to answer some of your questions, please give me a shout in Discord between me and Solomon and the other coaches. We'll make sure to answer. This recording will be up hopefully in the next 24 hours. And I'm wishing y'all to have a great trading day, guys. It's not really much going on in the market.
Yeah.
For 1,001 reasons. Every day becomes new, but to try to be able to play it safe. Remember, your number one job in trading is to protect your capital first. It's not to make money, because if you constantly lose it, then you won't have any money to make. So with that, guys, I will catch y'all on Discord.
Thank you. And can you send me the indicator as well, please and thanks?
Oh yes, sorry, been sent.
Awesome. Have a great day, man.
You too.
Peace.
Peace.